It's finally the time we've all been waiting for, and I'm so excited to be covering Meta Connect this year. It's been a long time coming, and I know we've had tons of leaks and tons of rumors, but let's get into what we saw for day one. Of course, the star of the show for so many people is the Quest 3S reveal. So obviously one of the biggest points of excitement is this new Quest 3S release. Although I love my Quest 3, being able to bring the price down to $300 really has helped Meta reach a complete different audience, which ends up being the same audience as the Quest 2. And as someone pointed out, it's actually an even better price point when adjusting for inflation, as if you're following inflation, the Quest 3S should cost more, and yet it also brings more value to the table than the Quest 2 did. I'm actually pretty happy with the predictions I made earlier this year. They fell right in line with a lot of the rumors and leaks, and I'm even happier to see that those leaks came out to be true. So all in all, the Meta Quest 3S has very similar optics and screen resolution to the Quest 2. The same Fresnel lenses, the same resolution of 1832 by 1920, the same pixels per degree of 20. Of course, that depends a little bit on the IPD selection you use, and also the 3 selection IPD selector versus the dial type from the Quest 3. But the major changes, of course, are the SoC, so your processing power is much improved, and the fact that you have mixed reality. Ringless controller tracking is also a major boon. I understand that some people have complained about some of the tracking, but overall it's a major improvement. You give up a small bit of fidelity from the rings, but you gain so much more control over how you move your hands. You can bring them closer together for shooting games, and there's somewhat better tracking outside of your line of vision because of the hand tracking and some of the inertial calculations they do in the controller. Dropping the depth sensor is also not a surprise. There's been talk that Meta actually has kind of built a model using the information from the Quest 3 to allow devices without a depth sensor to do room sensing and meshing. So I don't think people will have too much disruption there. There might be edge cases, but overall it should feel pretty much the same. There were some early rumors saying that we wouldn't actually see mixed reality in the Quest 3S, and that ended up being false. It's still a major component of the Quest 3 and 3S ecosystem, and I think that's important. So many people in my family and my friends group love the idea of mixed reality, even more than VR, which is important because, although much to Apple's chagrin, this is a spatial computer, or as much as something can be. And that applied to the Quest 3 and now even to the Quest 3S. Whether that be using it for games that bring in objects that don't exist into the surroundings you're used to, or if that's bringing in windows or applications into your living room, or to augment your space that's physically around you. These are all things that the Quest lineup now can do pretty closely to what you'd expect from the Vision Pro, despite the mass disparity in pricing. Of course, there are features that the Vision Pro offers that are beyond what the Quest lineup can do, but for the price point, it's actually astounding. But getting the new chipset as well as having universal accessories is just wonderful. Finally, the Quest accessories work for both the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, so you have a uniform lineup now of accessories, other than the Quest 2 and the Quest 3S share the lens inserts for prescription lenses. Meta also made some major announcements that they are going to be working with Microsoft to add pairing and virtual desktop streaming natively between Windows and Quest. The intention is you just have to look at the keyboard of the computer you're pairing with, and it'll automatically start streaming the desktop. I really hope it comes to this because that would be a major improvement. Desktop streaming so far does work, but there are some quirks depending on the application you're using. Meta also announced that they are releasing the SDK for bringing flat Android-style applications to the Quest. As someone trying to get into the mobile app development space bit by bit, this is really exciting. There are so many features that this can add to the headset, and there was even a little screenshot within the Connect release video that showed a little Spotify icon. So I really hope that, as well as other apps like Discord, come to the Quest without having to sideload them. The last major piece of news in this realm that I'm excited about is that we're finally going to see camera access for developers with user permission. And I'm sure Meta is going to put in some protections because this has been a big topic and they've been very careful to not roll this out too soon. But this is going to be really exciting for people who like to take pictures, being able to take pictures with the device, or running a filter across their actual mixed reality space. Could you imagine cartoonizing the world around you? Or being able to scan certain objects in your space and bring them into VR, taking a physical object and taking, photogramming like style images of it. Those are just a couple ideas that I already have in my head, as well as being able to take maybe a couple pictures of a physical object and then bringing it into your application, rendering a different color or style to it back over the real object. Again, there's just so many possibilities, and this opens up a whole new world for mixed reality, and I'm really excited. So anyway, overall, I really love the new lineup and the fact that there is an entry-level option. I'm so excited to get mine and do some actual testing and reviewing of it. For those of you tempted to look at the 256 gig version of the 3S, do remember that now, at least temporarily, the Quest 3 128 gig is only $430 as they kind of try to get stock out from the discontinued model. And the 512 gig is now $500 or $499. So that's really a great deal. I think these are great price points, and I also think the Quest 3S offers so much at its $300 price point. I look forward to giving you guys some more content soon, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.